So are you at the point with 2 weeks ago in the season where you start peeking at the standings and seeing where you're going for the first round of the playoffs?
Absolutely, yeah. It obviously is a mix of probably 4 or 5 teams. I think it goes as high as Western. I mean, with their 2 remaining opponents being Michigan and Notre Dame, people can catch them possibly. You know, if you look from Ferris to Lake Superior and everybody in between, the only team we've had no success against is Alaska, and that was 2 of our poorest efforts back to back all season long. So we're looking at those. We're not talking to them about that. Right. We've been looking at those as a staff, and we like some of those matchups. Even though they're on the road, obviously the trip to Alaska is a tough one. But yeah, we've been looking at that.
But it's just more as a staff.
Yeah, nothing. Our focus is tomorrow's practice, and that's not going to change. I think if our team starts to focus on big picture, it's a lot more negative than positive, and I don't want to do that because big picture includes past and future, and we're not going to think about the past, and we're not going to worry about the future. So tomorrow's practice is our focus, and Friday will get here soon enough, and then it'll be Northern. And
then when you look at your team, you're mentioning just focusing on today, just trying to fine-tune everything for the next 2 weeks so you're ready to go.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to fight a little bit of boredom. We didn't want today's practice to be the same Tuesday practice we've had for 20 weeks in a row, so we try to do some things differently. Yesterday was just a more of a lighter day because we're banged up a little bit. We've had some guys that got banged up last weekend, so we're trying to keep it fresh and yet still get the same things accomplished in terms of competing and staying focused and executing.
Northern Michigan comes in this weekend. You played them once before. Had some success on Friday night, picked up a win. Saturday, obviously, early on in the season, nothing seemed to go well on Saturday. But talk a little bit about what you expect from Northern Michigan this weekend.
Well, I thought before the Michigan State weekend, they were in terms of their results, were struggling a little bit. They came off and they got swept against Western Michigan there, and then they sweep Michigan State on the road. I think they're a great road team. I always have. They always gave us problems before, but as far as we're concerned, I think they're a team that are playing for home ice in the playoffs. They're playing for in that respect, they may have more on the line than we do, which we're not going to think about that. We have plenty on the line for ourselves to worry about. I think you can expect a good effort from them. I think they're a team that has some good talent up front. I think they're a team that when they're on, they're going to be a handful for anybody in this league, and they've proven that with their results. In the series when we were up there, the 2-1 Friday night, we thought could have been 3-4-1. We had a couple of great chances there, and then the Saturday night was a 2-1 game with a penalty shot for us away from 2-2. So it ended up 5-2. It wasn't a 5-2 game. It was 5 really good periods of road hockey. So we're expecting a good effort. We're excited to get back at home here and get in front of our fans here. We've got a senior night on Saturday, so that's going to be good for these 4 seniors. And I'm hoping there's some good energy and good vibe around the building this whole weekend, and we can get some results.
What makes Northern a great road team?
They play really well in their system, and I think they're very opportunistic. I think they wait for you to make mistakes, and inevitably teams do, and they capitalize. I think they've really had strong goaltending the last, with Stewart there the last 4 years. I'm not to say Reed's not strong as he is, but that's what I've always felt. We haven't played him on the road this year, so I don't know. But in my opinion, what's made him a strong road team is just their attention to small details in games and their ability to take advantage of other teams' mistakes. They don't necessarily take it to you, but they're there and they compete, and then you make a mistake and they take advantage. So I think their opportunism has been probably their strongest suit as far as I'm concerned, and their willingness to compete on the road more nights than not.
Can you talk about this year's seniors as a group and what they've meant this year?
Well, I've tried to reflect a lot on that without knowing them inside and out from a recruiting process to now. But to see their class as freshmen and now to see them as seniors, these are true Falcons, the 4 of them. They're loyal. I'm not criticizing anybody. That's not what I'm trying to do. The people that are not here, that were here, I'm not criticizing. I'm just focusing on these 4. These guys have been through a roller coaster ride that they didn't buy in, they didn't sign up for. Let's be honest about that. When you're being recruited, you don't talk about 3 head coaches and 8 assistants or whatever it is in a 4-year career and a win-loss record that looks like that theirs does over that span. But they've all come to work every day with a focus. They're all going to walk away with a degree. I think they all see that the future is bright for this program, and they're proud to be part of it. I think they're guys that fans on and off campus can be very proud of, and they consider themselves Falcons. And I know that there's other guys that started in that class that are not in it currently that consider themselves Falcons as well. And that means something. Something's going right around here with the record not being great. There are good things happening. And if we can build on that and put what the last 24 months has been in terms of this program and the longevity of it and what's going to happen, put that behind us, I really feel good about the foundation this group has been a part of. And moving forward, it's going to be a lot better. So they can, because there'll be guys we'll think about when things start to go better around here. I wish it could have been better for them. That's the way I'll feel. And I know a lot of guys feel the same way.
Injury list?
Sloat's better. Both Rule and Rodriguez are fighting slight concussions. I think Rule's is less than what Mark's is. Ian skated today and seemed fine. Mark hasn't skated yet. Just bumps and bruises other than that. Nothing that I think would keep people out of the games for this weekend.
You expect to have Sproat or Russell?
Yeah, I expect him to be available. Whether he plays or not, we'll see, but I expect him to be available to play.
What do you like about Dave Solway's game?
His energy, his second effort is really good. He brings pretty much the same, I don't know if focus is the right word. He brings the same level of competition every day, whether it's practice or a game. You know what you're going to get. And, he's taken this team on his shoulders, so to speak, in terms of the leadership, and it's been hard at times because there's been times where he's been on an island, and we're asking him to do things all by himself, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. I know that's not necessarily about his game that I like,
right, but that's my next question.
I think he's got a hockey player in him. He makes small hockey plays. I think he thinks the game very well. When we try to implement a new system, he seems to get it right away. It's not something, because it's not rocket science. It's not something that you should really have to think a whole lot about. I think he's a smart hockey player that is able to adapt his game, but it's all based on energy, second effort, competition. And he's got offense to his game. I mean, this year his numbers don't show mega offensive player, but he does have offense to his game.
And then I think you mentioned early on last summer that he had bought in right away.
Yeah. I mean, he was the first one to, April 12th is the press conference, and he stays behind the press conference to kind of offer his support. And I've said this before, is this a guy who's just trying to get in close with the new coach, or is this good real? And I try to do a lot of homework on that because it was important to me. And he's been very consistent with that. He's been a bridge between these offices and that locker room from the beginning. He's got the respect of every one of his teammates. We all know this in this room. I've been critical of the leadership publicly, and I've been critical of leadership to them. And that is not only a focus of David Solway's in being not capable of being a leader. It wasn't a shot against David. I think leadership is something that's done collectively. I think it's very few teams that have one guy that absolutely leads the way. It's something that's done with 2 or 3 guys, and I think he's done a pretty good job in a very difficult situation where you've got 20 sophomores and freshmen on a team, where all the focus gets put on the 4 seniors and the 2 juniors. And he's a guy that I'll remember, and I think my relationship is pretty strong with him. We've talked a lot, both good and bad, and both personally and collectively. We're trying to make this better around here, and I truly believe that what he's done this year is going to be part of the foundation as we move forward.
augment.
Anything else?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Thanks,
We're
Coach.
good.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Okay.